Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor has been hit with another deeply embarrassing allegation. And this one has people talking because of how specific and ugly it is. According to royal author Tom Bower, Andrew once shouted a shocking insult at a deputy ambassador during an official engagement in Warsaw. The claim is that when the diplomat entered the room to say Andrew was urgently needed on the phone, Andrew lashed out with a crude slur aimed at the man's disability. If true, it is one of the most revealing stories yet about how he allegedly treated people behind closed doors. And, as more old stories resurface, the picture being painted is not flattering. So today, we are going through the reported Warsaw incident first, and some of the other deeply disturbing claims made against him. There are numerous other accounts from former staff, royal writers, and media reports that describe a pattern of rude, entitled, and sometimes cruel behaviour over the years. The Warsaw story came from Tom Bower during a podcast appearance. Bower said Andrew was in Poland in his former role as Britain's trade representative. He was reportedly addressing business figures at a formal lunch when the deputy ambassador entered to pass on an urgent phone message. According to Bower, the official had a visible club foot. Bower then alleged that Andrew shouted across the room, using foul language and referring to the man in insulting terms connected to his disability. Bower described the moment as shocking and said it exposed Andrew's character. So what exactly did Andrew say? Allegedly, he loudly shouted, "What the f*** are you cripple doing coming to interrupt me?" Bower said that it was unbelievable the way Andrew behaved. It was really shocking, selfish, stupid man. This story has gained attention because it fits with stories that have circulated for years from people who say working around Andrew could be difficult, unpredictable, and at times humiliating. For many royal watchers, Andrew's public image did not collapse overnight. It happened in layers. There were years of headlines about extravagant travel, complaints about trade trips, and questions over judgment long before the biggest scandals dominated the news. Some viewers will remember the nickname Air Miles Andy, used in the British press during his time as a trade envoy. Critics questioned the cost of trips, hotel bills, and whether official travel blurred into personal luxury. That reputation alone made him a controversial figure, even before later events overshadowed everything else. Then came the Newsnight interview in 2019, which many still see as the turning point. Andrew attempted to defend his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein and explain his decisions, but the interview was widely criticised. Even outlets normally cautious with royal coverage described it as disastrous. After that, public pressure intensified and his royal role was dramatically reduced. But beyond the public scandals, there has always been another category of story: how he allegedly treated staff. One former maid, Charlotte Briggs, has spoken publicly in the press about working in royal households in the 1990s. She described strict routines, including arranging teddy bears in exact positions on the bed. She also claimed she was once reduced to tears after being reprimanded over curtains in his office. Briggs contrasted that behaviour with other members of the family, saying they were nothing like him. Those are her recollections, but they have been widely repeated because they feed into the same reputation for arrogance and impatience. Another allegation involved a security officer who, according to reporting cited in 2026 coverage, was insulted over the phone after a visitor was denied entry. The reported language was crude and aggressive. Again, these are allegations reported in the media, but they continue to pile on to a long-running narrative that Andrew treated staff as disposable. There were also stories from service providers. One massage therapist told The Sun that boundaries were crossed and comments were made that left her uncomfortable. These claims sit alongside older reports that Andrew could be flirtatious, inappropriate, or dismissive, depending on the situation. What makes the Warsaw allegation stand out is the target. This was not just someone on household staff. It was reportedly a deputy ambassador, a senior official, in the middle of an international trade event. If the account is accurate, it suggests Andrew felt comfortable speaking that way in front of business leaders and diplomats. That is why people are reacting so strongly to it. These stories are resurfacing while Andrew's life appears dramatically reduced from where it once was. Recent reports say he left Royal Lodge and moved to Marsh Farm on the Sandringham estate. Coverage has focused on how far his circumstances have changed, from grand royal residences to a far more modest setup. It is a remarkable fall for someone once seen as one of the most prominent members of the family. He served in the Royal Navy, held major ceremonial roles, travelled the world, and was long considered a central figure in the monarchy. Now, headlines are less about status and more about old allegations, lost privilege, and reputational damage. There is also the question of why these stories keep emerging now. Sometimes, when a powerful figure falls, people who stayed quiet for years feel more comfortable speaking. Former employees, insiders, and commentators may decide the atmosphere has changed. Whether every claim is accurate or not, the volume of them can shape public memory. And that public memory is now harsh. For many viewers, Andrew is no longer judged only by official titles or royal rank. He is judged by the stories people believe about how he behaved when he thought nobody important was watching. The monarchy itself has tried to create distance. Over recent years, Andrew's public role has been stripped back, honours removed, and appearances limited. The institution clearly understands that his name brings controversy. Still, stories like the Warsaw one have staying power because they are vivid. People remember a single sentence, a cruel insult, a room going silent, the shock of those present. Those moments often do more damage than pages of formal statements ever could. Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor has also faced criticism over claims about how he spoke to Sarah Ferguson in private. Reports based on Tina Brown's The Palace Papers allege that during a 2015 business meeting at Royal Lodge, he walked into the room, saw Ferguson speaking with an associate, and said, "What are you doing with this fat cow?" The remark has been widely repeated because critics say it added to the long-running image of Andrew as rude, dismissive, and comfortable humiliating people around him. Andrew has not publicly responded to that specific allegation. So what do you think? If the Warsaw allegation is true, does it tell us more than any official headline ever could about Andrew's real character? Or do you think some of these stories are being revived now because he is an easy target? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoy straight-talking royal updates with the details others skip, make sure you subscribe before you go.